5 of the most badass warrior men in history. There have been many warriors throughout history. Some are revered for their skills, others feared for their brutality. One thing's for sure, deciding on the 5 most badass warrior men has been tough. William Wallace. Many people think they know everything there is to know about this man because they watched Braveheart. Undoubtedly a good film. The only thing that it has in common with actual events is the uprising Wallace led and his annoyance at the way the English treated his fellow men and women. Little is actually known about most of his life up until the point he decided to lead a rebellion. But one thing is for certain. He definitely got up King Edward I's nose. Wallace led his ramshackle army into many successful campaigns against the English, almost driving them out completely. Unfortunately, he was eventually captured, tried for treason and then hung, drawn and quartered, with his body scattered to the 4 corners of England. Alexander the Great. Many people know or have heard of Alexander the Great, and with good reason. He only had a short life, but he showed that it's not how long you've got, but what you do with that time that counts. When his father died, he inherited the Macedonian kingdom and all the headaches that come with it. But in a short space of time he had things under control and set out to conquer other lands. Within a little over a decade, Alexander had conquered land stretching from Greece to Egypt and even India. His empire expanded 2 million square miles. He is also well known for his adoption of foreign customs in order to allow him to understand those he conquered. He died at just 32 years old of a fever in Babylon, and his death led to a major power struggle. Saladin. Saladin is most notably remembered in the Middle East for recapturing Jerusalem and returning it to the Muslims during the time of the Crusades. He was an honorable man and instructed his soldiers not to kill or rob the civilians in Jerusalem, nor damage the city. Of course, the Pope, Gregory VIII, was less than impressed and dispatched an army, headed by Richard the Lionheart, Philip II of France and Frederick Barbarossa of Germany, to retake the city, after various setbacks. However, Richard and Saladin called a truce, meaning that Christians and Muslims could share the city in peace. Saladin is also known for the kindness he showed Richard when he begged Saladin for food and water for his sick army, obliging him with snow and fruit. Leonidas I of Sparta. Anyone who has seen 300 will undoubtedly know what Leonidas is famous for. For those that don't, Leonidas led a small army of Thespians and Thebans, along with the famous 300 Spartan warriors, to the famous Hot Gate in order to hold off a much larger invading Persian army, led by King Xerxes. Leonidas' army was eventually defeated, but not before causing massive damage to the Persian army. The deaths of these brave few jump-started the rest of Greece into action against Xerxes. The sacrifice made by Leonidas and his men lives on in our memories even today. Sun Tzu. Many people have Sun Tzu's book, The Art of War, on their bookshelves. He was an accomplished military tactician within the Chinese army around the 6th century BC. There are many stories told about Sun Tzu, and they often depict a man who was swift, brutal and intelligent. One such story showed him attempting to train the king's concubines to become soldiers. He divided them into 2 groups, with the 2 favorites leading each group. When they failed to listen to his commands, he had the 2 leaders executed. After that, the remaining concubines carried out his instructions flawlessly. Sun Tzu was most definitely badass, not just for his brutality, but also his cunning. Now, who do you think should be in the top 5 warriors of all time?